What's up, fam? Been slacking on these videos. So today is my alternate volume accessory day, if you will. I typically do like flat dumbbell press and some tricep work and shit. But today I'm going to be doing that plus a little bit of back. I might do some shrugs and like some rows of some sort. What else? And I'm starting to hit my abs again. Just going really heavy, honestly, just for my back's sake. I know that having a stronger abdominal wall will help with help alleviate some back pain. I mean, if it's, yeah. Anyway, anywho, so I'm doing like a little volume block right now of my bench. I'm doing like, instead of every week doing a top 3, a top 2, or a top 5, like I have been, I'm doing a top set of 6, a top set of 5, and a top set of 4. And I'm doing, I saw on Super Training's YouTube, Mark put out kind of a little like cycle, kind of like what they're doing. I mean, for naturals, linear progression doesn't necessarily work the same as it would for like someone on sauce. But it seems like that's all they use there is linear progression programs. So I'm gonna do 3 weeks of reverse bands, 3 weeks of regular bands, and then 3 weeks raw. And then we'll see where we're at. My last max I did was 340 paused. And I tried hitting some heavy singles a couple weeks ago. Garrett was out of the gym for a couple weeks. He had surgery, and then someone just honked at me. Lost my train of thought. Oh, so the 2 weeks he was out, I deloaded. I just did some, I benched on my own. I didn't have a lift off, and I just did some, sets of like 6 and 7, just some volume. So I figured, hey, why not shoot for like a heavy max? By the way, I need to throw this in here real quick. The bar I've been using for overhead press and bench is my favorite bar at the gym. It's like thin and smooth. That's what she said. And me personally, I just really prefer skinnier bars. I like 27.5, even 28 millimeter bars, really mellow knurling. I just prefer that kind of bar. I feel like I can press through it harder. I feel like I have way more control of it, and that comes down to everything: deadlifts, shrugs, not so much squats, bench, overhead press, all that shit. But decided to weigh the bars a couple weeks ago, and the bar that I'd been using was 41 fucking pounds. So all my PRs are kind of skewed and shit, but it's whatever. So I made the switch to an actual stiff bar for benching and overhead pressing, and it's just a lot fucking harder. I know people prefer stiff bars for benching and pressing, but not me personally. I have like sort of a shoulder imbalance that's always been there. Like my right arm feels a little longer than my left arm. So when I press, like when I get on the bench and I like set up, I kind of like am over to the right a little bit. My hands are placed evenly on the bar, but my like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I'd have to show you. And then when I do overhead pressing, it's easier to push through with that more flexible bar. Now that I'm using a stiff bar, I tend to like lose my balance a little bit more, and it's just a challenge. So instead of pussing out and going back to the skinny bar, and no, it's not a women's bar. A women's bar is like 30 pounds, and a women's bar is like 25 millimeters or some shit. It's like ridiculously skinny. It's just an old generic barbell that I really like. So I'm on the stiff bar and trying to get used to it, trying to get stronger with it. So all my numbers will be kind of skewed compared to what they were. Hopping on the freeway, gonna go bang out some chest and some back, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. So one more thing I was gonna add, which I thought was kind of funny. The weights here are like really old school iron weights and shit, and the dumbbells are like metal ones. So when I worked out at Gold's, I could bang out the 120s on flat for like 10 sets of 10, and here the 120s, the most I've ever hit here when I was like at my heaviest, I hit 9, and recently I've hit like 7 or 8. So I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And it's got a skinnier handle too, which for me is usually more beneficial. So I fucking weighed that shit. We brought the scale out when we weighed the barbells. Those 120s literally weigh 126 pounds. The 110s weigh 117 pounds. The 100s weigh 104. The 90s weigh like 96. They're all like within 5 or 6 pounds added on, because those old school weights, they only account for the weight that's on them. They don't actually account for the bar and the nut going through it and the bolt and all that shit. So I thought that was kind of cool. Well, not cool, but you know. So you can actually use the 90s, or I mean the 100s here, and they'll be just 105s. And yeah, so I'm gonna try and get like 4 sets of 12 with the 110s today, which will actually be almost 120s. So we'll see what I can do. 10 pounds. So this is the 110. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times 2 is 100 times with the 5s. So that's 110. That weighs 117. And this scale is very accurate because I'm exactly 233. And that's with shoes on.
Wait,
oh shit. Damn it. No, it went. 106.6 for the 100. Physique update. That there shitty lighting. What up, guys? Sorry if it's a little loud. Air conditioning's on. It's hot as fuck here. So, I just wanted to touch on something right quick about what this channel's about, why I named it Permabulk, and what that means. Basically, you will never see me cut, ever. I don't want to be cut. I don't want to be shredded, have the shreds, bruh. I don't want to fucking, like, you know, do the whole natural bodybuilding physique garbage gay bullshit. All that I care about, all that my goals are, is to be fucking massive and to be strong as fuck. Now, I'm probably not either of those. But the heaviest I've ever been was like 245. Mind you, I started lifting weights at 150 pounds. Senior year of high school. And then I just had like an everlasting quest to get jacked. And in the beginning, when I started lifting, I didn't really care about how strong I was. Now, over the last couple of years, powerlifting is like all I really care about. I could care less about a six-pack and a fucking, you know, whatever the fuck. I mean, I would like to be as aesthetic as possible. I would like to be lean. I don't want to be fat, but I'm also not going to strictly diet every day of my life. I'm not going to go through bulking and cutting. I'm not going to do any of that shit. That's not what I want to do. None of that shit interests me. None of that shit and personally, me personally, I actually enjoy the look. To me, it's more appeasing to look like 15 to 20% body fat at 250 pounds, you know, with a six-pack kind of, I mean, your abs showing, but you don't have like a six-pack, and you're just fucking big and massive and fucking strong. That look to me is way more appealing than being like 190 pounds at, you know, 8% body fat with like, and I have hella long arms, and like, you know, my leverages and shit for bodybuilding's sake are just not really the greatest. So I would look, even like being lean, I could get really lean at, I'm 230 pounds right now, probably like I'm under 20% body fat. I could get really lean at 200 pounds. I could probably be 200 pounds at 10% body fat. But to me, like to most people that were, if you're like 5'7", 5'8", that would look phenomenal. But for me, on my frame, I just know that anything under 220 just looks like shit. So I just want to throw that out there for any people that are naysayers, or, you know, maybe you should cut, or, you know, you're too fat for this, or not that anyone said any of that, but, you know, this is fucking YouTube, and on YouTube, unless you're 275 pounds at 6% body fat, benching 405 for 8 reps, then you ain't shit, and you're weak as fuck, and you don't know what you're talking about, and you don't know how to train. So I thought that I'd throw that out there. Permabulk, just on the never-ending quest for gains. All I care about is being jacked and being strong, and I'm working on both of them every single day. And this has been brought to you by yours truly.